Hey! Welcome, everyone! All 0 of you. I'm sure that number's gonna go up. I just sent out the notifications. So, actually, before we get too into things and before everyone shows up expecting me to draw, guys, if I've done this right, you should be hearing some music. The music is by Roll Music. The album is The Black Dot, and I'm streaming it through the attribution license. And as according to that license, I need to copy and paste that license here for all of you guys to see. So it's part of Creative Commons. It's as you can probably hear, it's good chip music. I find that's really awesome for kind of concentrating while drawing. It's very relaxing, and maybe not relaxing, but it helps me focus. Kind of like playing an old school video game. Hearing that chip tune is helps me focus. So anyway, welcome. So what we're drawing today is D&D characters, specifically my D&D characters. I say characters, but we're just going to be drawing the one. So what we have here is we got my good boy Paladin Tachmar. Tachmar Ashfallen. He this drawing here that you're looking at, this is a drawing of him I did 2 years ago when I first started playing this character. He was only level 2, maybe level 3. He just had plain just chainmail armor. He had a 2-handed sword and a giant's hammer. That's a story that if you guys want to hear later, you can. I'll tell you about it later. So what we're doing today, now I've been playing him for 2 years. He's level 9 now, and he has some new armor. So I want to design that today. So I created kind of I guess you could say kind of like a paper doll version of Tachmar. So I have a base for him to draw his armor on. So that's what we have here. We have almost naked Tachmar, and we're gonna draw some armor on him. The armor he actually has is the Armor of Invulnerability, which is super cool sounding. So we're gonna set my sketch to blue here. I'm gonna create a new layer. I'm actually gonna draw on. Here we go. Alright, so when I imagine his armor, I imagine it kind of enveloping him. Switch pins. Kind of like wrapping around him of sorts. So I kind of imagine. Let's get a bit closer here. So I kind of imagine like he has like all his pieces kind of wrap around his body. Now his the goddess he's a paladin of is Shantea, which is kind of like a harvest goddess. He's a farmer by trade. And so I'm thinking like his armor is going to kind of wrap around him, kind of how like vines or nature in general would wrap around him, or wrap around a thing. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do not know exactly what I want this to look like. So you're going to see me kind of sketch out ideas, and you're going to see me erase and redraw and erase and redraw again as I try to figure this out. So I apologize in advance, but also I don't apologize. All right. Gotta remember to save every now and again. So, actually, I gotta get myself some music playing here. You guys hear some music. At least you should be hearing some music. But I do not hear what's playing on the stream, so I'm gonna put on some music for myself. Is it the same music? You'll never know. Alright, so let's see here. Now I imagine since he's a paladin, his armor is going to be kind of big and bulky, especially wearing some armor that's called your Armor of Invulnerability. So I imagine he probably is going to have these big shoulder pads here. I know there's a technical name for them, but I do not know what that is. Like I said, I kind of want everything to just kind of feel like it's wrapping around him. Yep, it should be some 8-bit music playing. Some chip tunes. Now, I did some tests before trying this out, so it should be a good volume. But if you guys think that it's too loud or distracting, you can't hear me very well, let me know in the chat so I can make adjustments to the volume. Alright, I think that's looking pretty good so far. Alright, so let's see. I feel like, since I do want this kind of layering effect, I might create some smaller pieces that kind of overlap each other. better. I think how this... I'll make that. Before I start adding details like that, I should be make sure I'm happy with how everything's looking. So let's see. I always like sort of when we're talking like Knight's armor or Paladin's armor, I kind of like their armor to look kind of asymmetrical. So I'm going to kind of add a higher part here. Another layer to the... let's see. How do I want this to work? Yeah, maybe like WoW. I do like. WoW is very much my aesthetic in terms of like outrageously large shoulder pads and. See, I don't know if I like that though. But when I imagine Tachmar, I don't see him with like ridiculously large shoulder pads. All that. You know what? I think what I'm going to do is just leave the shoulder pads how they are right now. Kind of move forward and see how things develop here. Like just in case you guys are new or just dropped in, what I'm doing here is I'm creating armor for my D&D Paladin Tachmar. He's gotten the Armor of Invulnerability, so I'm trying to design what that looks like on this particular character. So you're going to see a lot of trial and error. I'll probably draw a bunch of stuff, erase it, and then try again. So that looks good. Overall, I like how that looks. We'll see. We might come back to the shoulders. So, again, I want it to feel like there's this wrapping around feeling. So I wanted to have this kind of side guards here. Wrapping, so we're gonna do something like that. We always have this joke in my campaign of Tachmar, because he's so heavily armored, is the least stealthy member of the team. Actually, I think his stealth... I have my character sheet here. Let's see. His stealth isn't awful. I say awful, but it's actually pretty good by most standards. It's a +2. So he does okay with his stealth checks, but that's what kind of makes it funny is he might roll a passing stealth check, but everyone else in the team laughs about how he might be stealthy, but you still hear a ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk with all his armor. Let's see. It's not bad. That couldn't get there. So how's everyone's Saturday so far? Let's see. Pretty quiet? That's not so bad. I'll take a quiet Saturday any day here. Maybe it's too long. There's something about this that's not jiving with me. Oh, I think I know. Okay. We want it to feel like this is coming around, kind of almost like a bubble. This is going to come around his body here. Is not very symmetrical. It's alright, let's see. Alright. I like that better. And I'm always been partial to armor that has this kind of like loincloth piece to it. think that's looking pretty good so far. I feel like Tachmar here, since his since he follows is Paladin of like a harvest goddess, I feel like his armor should be like ordained with some kind of like nature stuff. So let's see what I got here. My nature brushes. Clouds, vegetation. This leafy blend. How does this look? It's a little big. Let's do this on a different layer just in case I hate it. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Maybe some ivy. Not bad. All right, so let's see. I'm a superhero fan, so I always like including like the muscle structure into the outfit of my characters. So I'm gonna see if I can get Tachmar's armor here to accentuate his muscles and not just be like a big tin can look to it. So if we can just follow his chest muscles here. See. As I've said a few times now, I kind of want the armor to wrap around, so I don't want like all of this armor just to be just muscles here. So I think I'm going to imply muscle with the structure. Cool design elements here. And some pieces that are gonna wrap around. I'm thinking, let's see. I'm thinking maybe if we can kind of, because I had this kind of ivy part here, and I don't know if I like that itself, but if I kind of included a sort of like metal ivy look to his armor here. Something like that. And then just have like several around here. Forgive my messy line art. I'm gonna have to re-ink this when I'm all done. Let's see. Well, that's kind of coming along. What do you guys think? It's good. Awesome. So far, so good. This up a little bit. Right. Now, since I want these to be kind of vines, I think I'm going to add little leaf pieces here, just as kind of like a design element. Again, this is all just like design part of it. It's nothing I do here is going to be set in stone. I might end up towards the end kind of redrawing everything once I kind of had a second to think things over. And I'm pretty sure that ruined everything. Maybe I'll put a vine engraving on them. Not sure. Okay. Let's see, so what kind of side armor should I put on? Can't have his sides exposed like that. Let's see. I guess I could just put like overlapping like plates here. Maybe we'll make it male. Shouldn't be second guessing myself. I kind of follow my instincts here. Right. I think that'll do just fine for now. For his chest plate, I do want to do something else with it. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. Oh, you know what I want to do, actually, now that I'm thinking about it? I want to add belts. Or at least some kind of, like, straps here. So, one thing that Tachmar has, he has two-handed swords. Though he certainly cannot dual wield. He has his two-handed broadsword that he started with, that he started his adventure with, and while his adventures were going on, he had he acquired a cursed sword, the bastard sword, and so his so now he carries with him two-handed broadswords. And then, on top of that, after his very first adventure, he acquired a giant's hammer. So he has 3 very large weapons that he can only use one at a time. And in fact, with the giant's hammer, he can only use that literally once. I don't think the DM really wanted me to have the giant's hammer. When we fought the giants, there's one that had a sword and one that had a hammer. And I'm pretty sure the DM did not want me to have either of those. And so I rolled to pick up the sword, and I rolled like a 10. And so I went over to the hammer and rolled a nat 20. So automatic success there. And again, I don't think my DM wanted me to have it, so he said, okay, you can pick it up. You only have enough strength to do one good hit with it. And so I've been saving that sword for a while. Just waiting. Or, I said sword, the hammer. I've been waiting to use that hammer, waiting for a great, cool story moment to use it. But the reason I tell you all of this is because since Tachmar has so many heavy weapons around him, he's got to have some kind of belt structure here to hold it all together. So let's see. How's that gonna work? I feel like a lot of it's gonna sit like underneath layers of armor. Now, if I'm going to add all these belts, I might take away some of the details in his armor. I don't want the design to get too convoluted here. If there's too much detail, not only will the detail be lost and it just look like a mass of lines that don't really do anything, but also it'll be hard to draw over and over and over again. So I might end up simplifying this as I go. I might take out some of these belts. I might take out some of the design elements in the armor. I'm not 100% sure yet. Tachmar back in here so we know what he looks like. It's getting a bit messy. Alright, let's see. How can we simplify this? We want it to look cool, but not an eyesore. Let's take like that belt there. One more strap for the Giant's Hammer. I'll make the Giant's Hammer go the other way here. Holding on these pieces here. Not bad. Not exactly what I'm looking for here. So this is what I'm going to do. I like the belts. I like kind of the chest and shoulder area. So I think I'm going to leave all of that. I'm going to take out some of these design elements I had originally put in. I think I'm going to move on to his arms and legs here, and we'll come back to his chest plate shortly. But what do you guys think? You agree? Disagree? You know what, before we also get into that, kind of want to ink Tachmar's face here. I like his hair. I just was trying to envision how his hair might have grown over the time since I first drew him. And it just went straight up. Error. Making faces at the camera. All right. Not sure if I'm streaming. Hold on. Let me check how everything's going here. Just one sec.